Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I'm afraid today I've got to be the bearer of bad news. Although, to be honest, I think a lot of people saw this coming. Yes, recently I was lucky enough to get my hands on Sonic Forces of all things. Only a demo, of course, but nevertheless, I managed to play the game and, honestly, it's not good. Now, before anybody runs to the comments saying, you're just a Sonic hater, please, for the love of God, believe me when I say I'm not a Sonic hater. I love the Sonic series. I love it to death. It just hasn't been good in so long, you know? I was getting really excited and I thought maybe finally Sonic Forces would be a really good Sonic game, a really good 3D Sonic game, but it's just not. It's exactly the same as every other bad modern Sonic games, and there have been some good ones. Generations was pretty good, Colors was great, but Sonic Forces, it's the same mistakes again, and it's so depressing. I played 3 stages. One of them was a classic Sonic level, and it was just a boss. One of them was a modern Sonic level, and it was, you know, what you'd expect. It was running around a city, and the other one was the Avatar stage, so that was running around as a custom character. And honestly, none of it was really very good. None of it ran very well. It was just honestly kind of a hot mess. I think the biggest problem about it was just the fact that it was a bad idea to begin with. I mean, the idea of bringing avatars in, good, you know, sort of you can work around that. But the way that they've implemented them is it's basically modern Sonic, but you're not very fast and you're running around with a weapon that you just sort of activate, and you can choose the weapon, but none of them are very interesting. It slows down the gameplay in a way that doesn't work. I mean, modern Sonic is, to be honest, it's too fast now. Sonic was not always about going fast. It was about gaining momentum and earning that speed and then trying to keep that speed and then, you know, sort of maybe having to slow down for something else, finding different pathways. It wasn't just about going as fast as possible and stopping every so often to defeat a load of enemies, and that's just exactly what Sonic Forces is, and it's so annoying. I actually reached out to you lovely people on Twitter to find out what you felt was wrong about modern Sonic games, and I was reading through the list, so thank you for that, by the way. If you want to get involved in conversations and help me out for future videos, then make sure you follow me on Twitter at Alex_Olney. I'll also have it written down here. You know, I'll even stick a link in the description. I'm feeling generous. But as I was going down the list and seeing what you were saying, I could just almost every single one of the things that you said was wrong with the modern Sonic franchise, I could just tick them off and say, yeah, that's in Sonic Forces, that's in Sonic Forces, and it's just infuriating that they can't see what is wrong with modern Sonic. What is it, Sonic Team? Why can't you see it? You know, as I said before, Sonic Colors was good. I really enjoyed Sonic Colors. Generations was good as well. Sonic Colors, honestly, in my opinion, is the best 3D Sonic game. It's even better, in my opinion, than Sonic Adventure 2. Which feels weird to say, but then again, Sonic Adventure 2, on the whole, wasn't a great game. I mean, the Sonic sections and the Shadow sections, they were good. But everything else was kind of not. When I was playing the modern Sonic levels, honestly, it felt a lot like Sonic 06. I mean, it was definitely more refined than Sonic 06. I'm not going to say it's as buggy as Sonic 06 or anything by that regard. I'm not saying it's that bad. It is better than Sonic 06. It's okay. It's not as bad as that. But it just felt like I was playing half the game. And I mean, you know, I was only half in control of the game. The game seemed to be doing most of the work for you. It's just things like, it's just so basic. The gameplay is too basic. And not in a way that is charming or that is to its benefit, but in the sense that you just hold Y and just try and go as fast as possible, you know, plow through enemies and jobs are good and you're done, you've gone through a loop, hooray, it's Sonic, hello, hi, it's Sonic. Also, the level was really, really short, which is bad. I know there are some people who really love Sonic, even the modern Sonic games, and if you do, then that is great, then, you know, sort of please enjoy this game, but to anyone who's on the fence, we're really going to have to see a lot of changes, a lot of good stuff come out of Sonic Forces before it's going to be anything close to a recommendation. It's just every mistake they could have made, they made, pretty much, except they didn't bring the Werehog back. That's good. I know I've talked briefly about the Avatar stages, but I want to bring back something else. The avatars will all feel exactly the same. In the demo, you were assigned a random character that was randomly generated, and immediately alarm bells started ringing when that happened, so you know, I thought to myself, well, I'll give it a chance, but then I played a couple of times and I talked to other people. It just feels exactly the same every time, so your custom character is basically cosmetic, except there are some sort of subtle things but they didn't feel like they came across in gameplay at all. It didn't tell me about the differences, it didn't do anything to say, you know, this is your custom character. It didn't let me create my custom character, you know, sort of understandable, it's a demo. But even so, it just feels hollow. It feels really, really hollow. And I'm just annoyed. Even the classic Sonic stage, which was just a boss fight, as I said before, even that felt wrong. It felt stilted and dull. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably the first boss fight, judging by it looks like it's in Green Hill Zone and stuff like that, but even then, it's just a case of, you know, jumping out the way. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. The controls feel a bit janky. The performance, honestly, is a little bit embarrassing. It's displaying at a low resolution. It honestly feels like they've gone for spectacle over gameplay and substance, but the spectacle isn't very good. It's just like they've gone for the worst of everything. And I'm just so frustrated because colors is like the archetype of how to make a good modern Sonic game. And I know a lot of people say, well, that was only because the 2D sections were good. But honestly, no, I think, you know, the 3D sections as well were good. It rewarded speed and the... sorry about that. The camera actually just sort of stopped recording. Sorry about that. But that has actually sort of given me a break, which I probably needed because my throat was getting a little bit hoarse. Let's get back into it. So as I was saying, yes, Sonic Colors is a good game, even the 3D sections. The Wisps brought something new to it, and the Wisps are back in this latest game as well, but honestly, they feel... the only Wisp I think I found was one that allowed me to do the light speed dash, which is where you dash along a load of rings, which felt like a good way to include it because it was a little bit more reliable, but at the same time, it just wasn't very good. It didn't seem to sort of open up the world at all. It was just, hey, here's a line of rings. You can either just run, or you can go up the line of rings and go in a marginally different pattern, but you're still going to the same location. There was no reward for using the Wisps and thinking outside the box or anything like that. There was no opportunity to think outside the box, and it's, why can't they just, why can't they see? But this is not what Sonic fans want. I've been a Sonic fan since the very beginning, since the very first Sonic game. I owned the Master System versions as well. In fact, it wasn't until recently I owned the Mega Drive versions. Not properly anyway, because I never owned a Mega Drive. But it's just, it might as well be an entirely different franchise now. I mean, it's not Sonic. And also, all the bloody characters are back. Charmy Bee is just the worst character ever created by anything ever. He's got the most annoying voice, and is just, honestly, he's got a pretty bad design as well, which is saying something for Sonic, because Sonic characters, generally, their designs are pretty good. Sonic himself especially. I think Sonic has only survived because of his design, because his games are no longer that good. And I just want a good Sonic game. I just want a good Sonic game to come out. I just want what the fans want. I just want a good Sonic game. None of this gimmicky nonsense. Even if it was just a 2D game, just a good Sonic game. Oh, wait. Oh, well done for making it to the end of probably what is the rantiest video I have ever done. But honestly, Sonic Forces, it's disappointed me so much, honestly. Hopefully, they managed to sort it out, and this isn't actually representative of the final game, but to be honest, I'm not holding out a lot of hope, because otherwise, why would they make this demo? But what do you think? Are you still excited for it? If you are, then please don't take my word as gospel. Try and find more opinions, make a more informed decision. Don't think that I'm needlessly hating on the game. Make your own mind up, don't listen to what I have to say. And let us know what you think down there in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you gotta go fast towards that subscribe button. That makes no sense, but nevertheless, you understand. And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. It's not good. I'm really annoyed. That hurt more than I thought.